Hey guys, this is MB Cash, and today I'm going to show you my Revell 1:400 scale RMS Titanic model. This is a brand new video that I'm doing because in my old YouTube channel I had a video of this model, but unfortunately the quality was not very good. It was very crappy. It was taken with an old digital camera that I used to own. I don't know where it went, but did not take very good quality videos, and I had some music playing in the background, and I had a slideshow at the very end. But I decided for this channel to do a new video, and it's basically going to be just me just talking a little bit about this model, and I'll even do a little walkthrough. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the model itself. My uncle bought the kit for me back in the summer of 2008, and I never touched it after he bought it. It was just sitting around in the closet collecting dust, and I was actually afraid to build it on my own. I wanted someone to build it with me, preferably someone who had experience building models, because just a little disclaimer, I've never built a model kit in my entire life, so this was my very first. I came in as a newbie building model kits and model ships, but you know, it was a very good experience. But anyway, so it sat around collecting dust for years, and finally in the summer of 2011 I decided to give it a try. So I started in July of that year and I finished in August, so 2 months. I probably could have gotten this thing finished a little sooner, but some stuff happened, such as medical issues. And I did take a trip to Las Vegas with my family, which, by the way, was pretty cool, because that year I got to go visit the Titanic exhibition, Titanic the Artifact exhibition in the Luxor. Super awesome. If you're ever in Las Vegas, I definitely recommend you checking it out. It's amazing. And inside the lobby of the Luxor, they had a large model of the Titanic, and I did take some pictures of the model because I decided that it would be great to use as reference, and it did help. But anyway, that's about enough of the model. Let's go ahead and take a little look, shall we? So I'm just gonna remove my camera from the tripod here. So let's get a good look at Titanic, shall we? So here's the bow. We got the forecastle deck right there. You can see here's the anchor crane along with these bollards. There's the mast, the foremast. Got the forward well deck along with the cargo hatches and the forward well deck cranes. And there's the bridge. Real quick, as you can, let me focus here. Focus. And this thing does not want to focus. Okay, there you go. As you can see here, there is a little round piece of plastic that came from one of the trees that held the pieces. There was some fitting issues with this model, particularly the boat deck. It did not want to sit properly, so what I was left with was this gap in between the wheelhouse of the bridge and the facade here. So to cover that gap up, I just took a piece of the plastic tree and glued it into place so I can get rid of the problem. So nice little improvise there. And you can see here this is the port wing of the bridge. There's still a little gap, so it shows you some of the issues I had with fitting this thing. But enough about that. Let's move along. Here we can see into view the forward port side lifeboats. And there's another example of the fitting issue. You can see I had to add a couple of layers of glue and just paint it white to get rid of that gap. It was right there. There's the forward funnel, and there's the forward grand staircase, and there's the number 2 funnel. That's the compass platform right there. The number 3 funnel. Just in front of it is where the ship broke apart when it sank. There's the number 4 funnel, the dummy, and there's the aft port lifeboats. There's the aft mast. Now getting onto the stern. Right here you can see here's the aft well deck along with more cranes and cargo hatches. And there's the poop deck. There's the docking bridge. And you can see all the deck benches. There's the flag mast and all these vents. Let's go around here. We're going to go on to the starboard side. First, here's the stern of the Titanic. You can see it says Titanic Liverpool. And there's the propellers. Alright, now let's go on to the starboard side. So here's another view of the poop deck and the aft well deck. We got the aft mast. Okay, now here are the aft starboard lifeboats. I recently cleaned this model because it collected dust for a very long time, and I decided to clean this model with an air compressor. And basically what I did was just blast all the dust off. And unfortunately, some things happened, such as right over here. A piece of this davit here broke off. So that's unfortunate. Another thing that happened when cleaning this thing using an air compressor, this model used to have flags. So you can see there used to be a flag right here on the fantail flagpole, and there were flags on the tips of the masts. On the foremast we had the American flag. The aft mast was the White Star Line flag, and on the fantail flag post was the United Kingdom flag. All those flags are now gone. The air compressor just blasting all that air just ripped the flags away, so there are no more flags, unfortunately. So that's a real shame. But anywho, here's the aft grand staircase. There's the 3rd funnel. Here's a little interesting thing I want to add about this model. This is a custom nameplate. This did not come with the kit. The kit originally came with a decal for the display stand. Well, at the time of constructing this model, I was interning at a design shop that did so many interesting things, such as print design, t-shirt designs, and they even did trophies and plaques. So I got to be familiar with the programming and how to work the machines, and I decided as a little test to make these 2 custom nameplates for the display stand. And they're pretty nice. I like it. It's a little custom job that I decided to do just to give it a little originality, I guess. Moving along forward, here's now the starboard forward lifeboats. Once again, you can see an example of just the boat deck not fitting properly, so there's a gap that I had to seal with glue and paint. And coming into view is the starboard side of the bridge. There's the well deck and the forecastle. Now you can see the tip of the bow. There's the starboard anchor right there, and there's the name Titanic. Let me get it to focus here so that way you can see it. It does not want to focus. Well, maybe if I... And that's my dogs in the background. That's what that noise is. That's them walking. There we go. You can see the name Titanic. It's a beautiful model. You know, like I said, I had no prior experience of building models in my life, and it just got dark. But anyway, yeah, I had no prior experience building model kits, and this was my very first. And you know, it actually came out very, very nice. It's far from perfect, but it's not a very, very horrible job. So I think for what it is, it's a pretty nice model, and it certainly opened me up to doing more. It certainly opened me up to doing more models, particularly the Titanic. After this one, I built 2 other Titanic models. They each got smaller, believe it or not. The second Titanic model that I built after this was another Revell model. It was a Revell 1 to 570 Titanic. And then after that, I built the much smaller 1 to 1200 Titanic. So yeah, they each got smaller. I do plan on building a couple more. I do have already purchased and stored in my office somewhere the Minicraft 1 to 350 Titanic, which is the really big, nice one. That one's going to be a challenge because there's so many pieces to that kit, much more than this one. So I don't know. That's going to be the one that's going to make or break me, I guess. But this one, you know, it was a very nice build, and there were a lot of frustrations. Trust me, these things are not very easy. But it was such a joy, and it was a nice experience getting to build this ship, because I've been a big Titanic history buff since I was a kid. After I first watched the movie, I just have such a big obsession with the Titanic. So, you know, getting to build this model of the ship that I love so much was an amazing experience. And one of the things that really helped me, I mentioned that I had gone to Las Vegas and I saw a giant model of the Titanic at the Luxor. That proved to be very useful. Another thing that I used that was very, very helpful was the Titanic Research and Modeling Association at www.titanicmodel.com. They have so many useful resources. So for any of you who are interested in building a Titanic model, I'll go ahead and provide a link below so that way you can check it out yourself. They have a list of paints and colors, so that way if you're building a Titanic model, you can be sure that you can get a good, accurate representation of the ship. So, yep. So there's a Titanic for you. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll go ahead and provide a link to my older video, the one that I mentioned at the very beginning, so that way you can check it out. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to see if I can remember what colors that I used for this model. Most of the pieces of this model were painted by hand, all except the hull. The hull of the ship was spray painted, and I used Krylon spray paints, flat black, flat white, and I used a primer for the bottom, Ruddy Brown it was called, so it's like a reddish brown color. But all the others were painted by hand, and they were all from Testors. So I'll provide a link, or not a link, but a list of the paints that I used, if I can remember them. I'll do my best, so that way if any of you take any inspiration from this, it'll kind of get you going on the right track. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's so nice of me getting to show off my beloved Titanic model. And if any of you guys got questions concerning this model, or maybe if you're building another model, if you're building a model of your own and you have questions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. And until next time, I will see you all later. Thank you for watching, and God bless.